of the Larchmont Mamaroneck team and Augie Mankus of the Rye team. And Jim Wilson, I direct my first question to you.
Sure.
How many years have you been involved in this tournament? It's gone on for 10, but how many years have you been involved in it?
This will be my 5th year, and a very good 5 years.
And what about these players this year? You seem like you have a pretty riled-up team over there. They're cheering and so on, but what can we look for from your players?
Well, we're trying to look for a very good offensive game. Our boys have really been working hard at it. We played in very good defense for the season, so I'm going to give Mr. Mankus a very good run for his money today.
I see that you two have met before, and you've had quite a few outings during your season. What's been the outcome of those outings?
Well, over the last couple of years, not so good. But prior to that, I think we played about even balls. So I think today is my revenge day.
Mr. Mankus, I'm sure that in your opinion, it's been very good. You've won quite a few times. And tell me about your season a bit.
Well, right now our season, we're 8-2 in the Sound Shore Senior Babe Ruth League. We're currently tied for first place with Portchester and the Bronx. Jim and I have had some battles throughout the year, and it's been a lot of fun playing against them. I've enjoyed it.
What can we look for in your team as far as pitching or defensive ability goes?
Well, our team consists of mostly of Rye players, as you know, and it's mostly Rye High School seniors and juniors. A very good, school discipline team. We have a lot of defense, and we have a very strong pitcher in Andy Luckhart today, who's been scouted by University of Denver and the Chicago White Sox. So we're looking for a good pitching game outing out of him today.
And how long have you been involved in this tournament?
This is my 4th year involved in a tournament. I've been involved in our league for 5 or 6 years now.
Okay, thank you very much, you two. It's a hot day out here, but I'm sure that these two teams, with all the energy that they have, are ready for a really good game. Back to you, John.
All right, thank you very much, Stephanie. Hot indeed. Hot not only in temperature, but hot in competitive level as well. As we're just moments away from the opening pitch of this 3rd game of the Saturday opening schedule, our 2nd game here at Cable 3. And let's show you what has transpired so far in this tournament on the opening weekend. First of all, Saturday in the opening game, it was North Castle, a winner over Stanford 6-0. North Castle came in as a late entry, replacing a team from Norwalk, and did a pretty nice job in that opening game, shutting out Stanford. And in the game we just watched, it was Eastchester coming back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th to beat Portchester 10-9. We've got this one coming up, Larchmont Mamaroneck against Rye, and then the nightcap, the final game on opening weekend Saturday, will feature Greenwich against Scarsdale. On the other end, on Sunday, there'll be 4 more games as 4 of the teams earn byes for this first round. White Plains will be taking on North Castle, and Eastchester, with their win, will meet the defending champion Harrison Ball Club, and that'll be coming up in game number 2 on Sunday. Then we'll have the winner of this game taking on Greenberg, and then the Scarsdale Greenwich winner will take on the Bronx Red Wings. So that's how the schedule shapes up in the opening weekend. After that, they'll be playing every night and 4 games for the remainder of the weekends, the next 2 weeks in this tournament, and on August 1st, they will have the championship round. Double elimination, and as we mentioned earlier, the kids between 16 and 18 years old. And as we saw in our first game, a lot of stellar performances during the regular season, and these kids are showing it to us again right here at Disbro Park. Rye is the home team today, and let's take you around the infield and outfield as we show you how Rye sets up defensively. Over at first base, we will have number 2, Tommy Armas. The second baseman, wearing number 6, is John DeMarco. The shortstop will be number 9, Mark Amoruso, and down the lines at third base, left field, wearing number 24, will be Mike Bach. The center fielder, wearing number 7, is Joe King. And down the lines in right field, there's Joe King, number 7. And in right field, number 42 is Jerome Kinney. Behind the plate doing the catching, number 5, Mark Surhoff. And out on the mound to start it off for Rye this afternoon, number 8, Andy Luckhart. So there you have the defensive lineups, and we should immediately point right back to the catcher, Mark Surhoff, the brother of B.J. Surhoff, now playing Major League Baseball for the Milwaukee Braves, and a few years ago was playing his baseball right here at Disbro Park, game that we had here quite a bit ago on Cable 3. But good to see that some of the local guys finally earning those big paychecks up in the bigs.
Not only did Surhoff play baseball here, but he also played football. When I was the head coach at Eastchester, he's the one that scored the 2 touchdowns to beat us. So you look at Surhoff not only as a baseball player, but a tremendous athlete. He was all section: football, basketball, and baseball.
All right, our umpires for today's ball game. Some familiar faces to us all, even when they're sitting behind the iron mask. Vinny D'Iso will be behind the plate. He'll be calling the balls and strikes. And out on the bases today, we will have Buddy Horan. There's Vinny right there, and Buddy Horan will be out on the bases, working all three of them today. So we have the crew, and we're about set to begin as Andy Luckhart faces Sean Curtin, and the first pitch swung on, strike one, and we are underway. Sean Curtin, number 11, will be playing shortstop today. Sean, an outstanding athlete at Mamaroneck High School past few years. And that pitch is inside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I spoke to John just before the game, and I asked him what he batted from Mamaroneck, and he looks at me seriously, and he said he batted .650. I heard that, and I walked away.
That's on the outside corner, and a count now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sean Curtin.
Andy Luckhart, pitching for Rye, has earned a partial baseball scholarship to the University of Denver.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Curtin goes down as the first out in the ball game. Good way to get started for Andy Luckhart.
He's throwing smoke right in the beginning. He has to maintain this strength, speed, stamina, and carry it throughout the entire game.
So 1 up, 1 down, and now Mike Williams, number 19, the second baseman, climbs in. Mike will be a sophomore at Mamaroneck High School this coming fall. And that first delivery outside, ball 1. It's a beautiful afternoon for a ball game. If you're watching us Saturday night, hope you had a nice day. Enjoyed some baseball wherever you were, or if you had to, go to the beach. Hope you had a good time there, too.
John, it's a great day for baseball, but also it's a tremendously, perfectly manicured baseball field.
Field is in excellent condition.
Well taken care of.
Down Broadway.
Is he throwing smoke? He gets stronger, and he'll be going to gas, and then he'll be throwing pills.
2 balls and a strike now to Mike Williams. Nobody on, 1 out, top half of the first inning. That's a little low, 3-1.
Vinny D'Iso behind the plate, one of the top umpires in Section 1.
Boy, we had earlier in the first game, we had Phil DeMichael calling balls and strikes. It's a lot of experience out there. That one is over.
Hit the inside corner right on the black. Beautiful pitch.
As a matter of fact, I went up to watch Ardsley play in their opening game of the New York State Championships. And in that game that was played up at Brewster against Marlboro High School, they had Vinny D'Iso, Phil DeMichael, and Tony Zimbalati. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Mike Williams goes down, second strikeout for Andy Luckhart in the ball game.
Well, that's like I said. Vinny D'Iso is one of the top umpires in Section 1. Phil DeMichael, Tony Zimbalati. These people get to these regional sectional games because they're rated. They're rated by the coaches, and the highest rating, they are the ones that have the regional, the championship games.
So the amazing thing was, with all those 3, you add them up, it was over 100 years of baseball umpiring experience.
Exactly.
That was a crew and a half that day.
Well, not only do they umpire high school games, but they umpire college games. They go up to West Point, Pace, Westchester, Concordia on weekends, do doubleheaders. They're right on top of the game the entire time. And he's doing a tremendous job pitching here the first inning.
Now facing Joe Messina, and quickly ahead on the count. No balls, 2 strikes. And final note, Vinny D'Iso, also one of the top Section 1 high school football referees.
Yeah, we'll see him in football.
Yep. No balls, 2 strikes to Joe Messina. Andy Luckhart cruising here in the first. Struck out the first 2 hitters.
And I hope he keeps the flag in his pocket.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, the ball in the dirt. And they'll make the soft toss over the first in time. So Luckhart, a tremendous inning. Opening it up, 3 straight strikeouts, nothing across for Larchmont Mamaroneck as we finished a half an inning. It is 0-0 with Rye coming up.
Looks like the University of Denver is going to get a good baseball pitcher out of Andy.
What a way to go, huh?
Ooh, he has a partial scholarship. He goes there, does well his sophomore year. They make him a full scholarship.
And playing in Denver, that's not too bad. The air's real thin.
Yeah, right.
You know, for a pitcher, that's tough, though, because that ball will fly a little bit with that thin air out there.
Well, that's what your pitcher wants. What's that ball to really take off? He just goes.
I'm thinking of the other way when the batter gets a hold
Well, you know,
of
the
it.
batter, he doesn't want the batter to make contact.
That's right. All right, defensive lineups now for the visitors in this second ball game here at Cable 3, Larchmont Mamaroneck. Over at first base, wearing number 14 is Joe Messina. The second baseman will be number 19, Mike Williams. At shortstop, number 16, Sean Curtin. There's your first three hitters in the lineup. Charlie Lanza, wearing number 2, will be the third baseman this afternoon. Out in left field, wearing number 10, is Billy Kirkpatrick. The center fielder, number 22, Jeff Letty. And in right field, number 9 is Andrew Schwartz. Doing the catching behind the plate, wearing number 8, is Doug Wilson. And out on the mound to start it off for Larchmont Mamaroneck, a very successful tenure at Rye-Neck High School, number 12, Chris Hawk.
John, we may have a pitcher's duel here this afternoon because Chris Hawk was an all-section baseball player for Rye-Neck. He pitched a perfect game no-hitter against Tuckahoe. So he has the pitches, he has the strength to stand him, or we may be locked in here in a pitcher's duel.
Well,
we'll just have to see if the bats start cracking.
Andy Luckhart mowed him down in the first inning, getting 3 straight strikeouts. We'll see what kind of luck Chris Hawk has, as he will face John DeMarco as the leadoff hitter for Rye here in the bottom half of the first inning with no score.
John DeMarco will enter Iona College on a partial baseball scholarship. During the year, he batted .407.
Also be playing for a new coach over there this year, Phil Trombino, who turned in his resignation a couple months ago. Don't believe, last I spoke with the Sports Information Department, a replacement has not been named, and that one will get through. Base hit for John DeMarco. A diving try there by Sean Curtin, and just came up buck short. And DeMarco, first batter on, with a leadoff single. Oh, Mike Bach now, the left fielder, number 24, come from the left side of the plate with a runner on. Watch this effort here by Sean Curtin at shortstop. Just diving and the ball skipping underneath his glove into center field for the bingo.
That was a well-hit ball by John. It just found the opening. The ball had eyes. He got a good hit. Good contact on the ball.
And curveball misses low, ball 1. Doug Wilson behind the plate. Might have an opportunity to see what kind of arm he has. Runners hold. This one popped up in foul territory, and that coming back. And how many times do you see that on the pop fly, usually in foul territory? That ball with the spin on it has a tendency to drop back in, and that's exactly what happened there. The third baseman, Charlie Lanza, overrunning it, went right up to the fence, and then it came right back at him.
Yeah, the ball does come back to the infield, but you can look over there. You can see there's shade, so he's in the sun, then all of a sudden he's in the shade. He may have lost the ball. He's starting to come back, but he was just not in time.
1 ball, 1 strike to Mike Bach, who's got a new life now. Throw over to first, just a calling card toss.
Michael Bach, the past year, in his batting, his average was .277.
Runner goes. Ball's outside. Throw down to second. Skips into center field. But nice job backing up on the play. Jeff Letty coming in. And that means that Bach has to stay, or rather DeMarco has to stay on at second base, but puts himself into scoring position. There you see a great jump by DeMarco, and looked like he would have had it beaten it anyway.
He has the first stolen base.
So runner at second, still nobody out. A count of 2 balls and 1 strike to Mike Bach. And now all of a sudden Chris Hawk in a little bit of trouble. That one's popped up foul again. Charlie Lanza coming over, and he won't get this one. Not a real good play by that fan out there.
Oh, he stumbled. You have to maintain your feet. Oh.
And that fan is still down. I think he's just afraid to get up.
That's why he's on that side of the fence.
So that foul ball evens the count at 2-2. DeMarco staying down at second base. No score, bottom half of the first inning. Curveball ripped into left field, and that'll fall in for a base hit. And they will hold DeMarco up at third. A line drive in front of Billy Kirkpatrick, and Rye's in business. 2 straight singles puts runners at the corners with nobody out, and it will be the catcher, Mark Surhoff.
Mark Zerhoff is a tremendous athlete, following the footsteps of his brother. He's all-section football, basketball, and baseball. He will be attending a prep school, sharpening up his skills, academic skills, athletic skills. Now they have a good situation here, a man on first and third. You know, you can square up for a bunt, you can have a steal, anything to get that man in from third base.
Fly ball. Short center field. Letty coming on. Can't get it. One run is in as the throw comes back into the infield. And Zerhoff with an RBI as the ball gets away. And another run is in. Rye leads 2-0. Jeff Letty with a real long run. That one off the end of the bat and just found a hole in left center. And then throwing it around a bit. 2 runs are in.
Mark Zerhoff here with a high fly ball. You can see the expression on his face. He's a little disgusted. He didn't tag it, but it is so high. It's a beautiful try by the center fielder diving. Just could not get it.
And now you see here as the ball comes back into the infield, kicking off of the leg of Charlie Lanza to the middle of the infield, and that scores the run. So a base hit for Zerhoff. He gets credit for 1 RBI, and then you've got an error on the throw from the left fielder, and that allowed the second run to score.
Now up to bat is Joe King. He's all-section football player. What a tremendous football player. He did everything. He can receive, he can kick, he can run, he can tackle, intercept ball. Just a tremendous football player. He was a Golden Dozen candidate. That means his scholastic average is 95 or better.
Curveball pounded into the dirt, foul.
Foul ball. He will be attending Franklin and Marshall on a football scholarship. He will also be playing baseball. He'll be playing football there for Gilbert. Gilbert out of Chappaqua went to Syracuse and with the Baltimore Colts.
Right.
Played with the Baltimore Colts, and now he's the head football coach at Franklin Marshall. Has Joe King coming in, a tremendous athlete.
Runner at third, still nobody out here in the first, and that's ripped down the line. 1 run is in. King is around first, a big turn, and he will hustle back into first base with an RBI single. Rye leads 3-0. 4 straight singles by Rye. Still nobody out, and very quickly, Jim Wilson of Larchmont Mamaroneck heads out to the mound. Chris Hawk just might not have it today.
The Rye bats are swinging. They're making contact. They're just ripping the cover right off of that ball. Batter coming up now for Rye is Tom Armas. Great football player for Rye High School. He batted .300 in baseball for the season. He will attend Pace University, playing both football and baseball. So you still have the athletes around that will play 2 or 3 sports, not specializing in one.
Quick trivia question for you.
Caliconi is very pleased that he's the head coach at Pace. He has Russo going to Pace. He has Armas. He's going to have a good baseball team.
Quick trivia question. What's Pace's team's nickname?
Oh. Pace, the Flying Dutchman.
The Pace Setters. Get it?
Right.
First pitch is inside, ball 1. Tommy Armas.
Now, why don't you ask me these good schools like Maryland or Penn State or Miami or Notre Dame, Texas, Houston.
On the inside corner, throw down to first, not in time.
Pace is also a tremendous business school. Good education. You're right in the metropolitan area. You graduate, good business degree.
Runner goes. Pitch is low. Throw down to second, and that's not in time. Stolen base for Joe King. Second of this inning.
Joe King can fly.
See what kind of jump.
Oh, he's motoring. He's motoring down our head first dive. Remember him in football playing wide receiver and everything? He just can fly out there. You just throw the ball anywhere in the vicinity. Ravelli was a quarterback, and he would go get it.
Now pitch inside, so the count now 3 balls, 1 strike to Armas with a runner at second, still nobody out, and Rye on top 3-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. That curveball got away, ball 4, and Armas is on. So climbing in now will be Mark Amoruso, the shortstop, number 9. Mark will be an 11th grader, junior at Rye High School next year.
And his batting average this past season was .407.
Reaches out for this one. That's one hopper to second. For one, back to first. Double play. A nice play by Sean Curtin as Tommy Armas really leveled him on the pivot. And Curtin able to get rid of it and still in plenty of time to turn the double killing. 4-6-3.
They turned the deuce. Here's a hard shot to the second baseman. Beautiful pickup to the shortstop. Nice pivot to first base and turned over the deuce.
So big double play there. Now runners at, or a runner at third with 2 away, and Jerome Kenny, the right fielder. Opening pitch, outside ball 1.
He'll be a senior at Rye High School in this past baseball season. He batted .290. Under the tutorage of Dino Gar.
A little low.
Dino Gar, head football coach, head baseball coach, Coach Surhoff.
That's right. Same thing with Jerry Fiore over at Rye Neck, head football and head baseball coach. God, you coaches are talented individuals.
Oh, you can coach 3 sports a year, but it really takes up a lot of time, especially if you're married, you have children, you want to be home. Look at Skip Violante of Dobbs Ferry.
He did all 3 last year.
Football, basketball, baseball.
He gave up the basketball this year.
He coached the girls, he coached the boys.
3-1 pitch. Off of the fifth, and that one handled by the first baseman, Joe Messina, and that ends the inning, but not before the damage is done. Rye picks up 3 runs on 4 hits. We had 1 error and 1 left on, and at the end of a complete inning, it's Rye 3, Larchmont Mamaroneck nothing, and we'll return to Disbro Park in just a moment. And Andy Luckhard, who breezed in the top half of the first inning, striking out the 3 batters he faced, and at the end of 1 inning has already been staked to a 3-0 lead. This is the 10th annual Rye City Baseball Invitational Tournament. 12 teams involved from throughout the metropolitan area, and they'll be playing for the next 2 weeks in this double elimination tournament. August 1st will be the championship round, and they've got some heavy-duty hardware that's going to be handed out. In a little while down the line, we're going to be visiting with Ralph Alone, the tournament director. And he's going to tell us a little bit more about this prestigious tournament. Hey, look at, there's the official scorer over there who's brought his own umbrella. Not only do they have the volunteer spirit here, but they've got brains as well. Did we bring an umbrella? No.
No, that's because we want a suntan.
Oh, I see. Here's Doug Wilson now, the catcher and the cleanup hitter for Larchmont Mamaroneck, number 8.
Doug Williams has played for Mamaroneck High School. He made All-League. He batted .404. He will enter Westchester Community College, and he will play baseball there.
Pitch down along the knees. Count evens at 1-1. Curveball ripped into right center, and that will fall and go all the way to the wall. Wilson is around first. He's motoring hard, and he is in there. A double for Doug Wilson. Little bit behind on the fastball, but enough power to stroke it into the alley in right center. And Doug, who I'm sure will admit not the fastest man out on the field right now, but he motors hard and gets into second with the double.
Sure. With 2 outs, he has to come out. Less than 2, it's optional.
So Wilson down at second, the first hit for Larchmont Mamaroneck in the ball game, and climbing in now, Andrew Schwartz, number 9, the right fielder.
Andrew played for Mamaroneck High School, and he will enter Lehigh University, and he will play baseball there. These young men are going to some fine schools: Yale, Lehigh, Denver, Franklin and Marshall, Pace, Iona, Florida State, Cortland.
So you see a courtesy runner in for Doug Wilson. We don't have any numbers on our program, but we're going to try to remedy that situation momentarily. But right now, here comes Andrew Schwartz. And the first pitch is low, ball one.
Lehigh University is a great engineering school. If he's going to major in that, he has a lot of book work to do, and then play baseball. They'll be kept busy.
In the dirt, throw down to second, and that was a pretty good toss there by Mr. Surhoff. Nobody out. We're here in the top half of the second inning. Rye leading 3-0.
They have a man in scoring position on second, and a hit here means a run.
What do you say, Drew? What do you say, Drew?
Fouled off the screen. Two balls and a strike now. Andy Luckhart struck out the first three batters and started the second inning with giving up a leadoff double to Dougie Wilson.
See how Andrew's deep in the batter's box.
Grounder down is short, picked up by Amoruso. A little trouble getting it out of his glove, but flips over to first in time. And on the play, Wilson's pinch runner moves over to third. Nice high hop, comes right to Amoruso. So you see a little stumbling, just a little bit, and a good throw over to Tommy Armas to retire Schwartz, and that'll bring up now Jeff Letty, the center fielder, number 22.
Jeff looking for an RBI here.
Inside, ball one. Surhoff just holding on to that ball outside, making sure home plate umpire DeIso had a good look at it. All catchers have a tendency to do that. I remember reading Ron Luciano's book and how umpires hate that when the catcher will just hold it there, thinking that this was a strike. Why didn't you call it a strike? And he's letting, and in essence, letting everybody in the ballpark knowing that he disagrees with the umpire's call. That one's off the screen. Two balls and one strike now. We're sitting broadcast center today is right by home plate. We've had a bunch of plays at the plate, and I'm a little tired of eating dust. That one's fouled back off the right-hand side.
Jeff hit that one on the handle. It was a little bit inside, went for the pitch, hit it on the handle. What the batter wants to do is he wants to extend his arms, and the pitcher was trying to put it inside, but the batter wants it outside a little bit.
Jim Grandolfo is the pinch runner for Doug Wilson, now down at third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. And there's a roller down to third, and they've got Grandolfo in a pickle. And Surhoff puts the tag on, and now they also have Letty in a rundown. And he'll tag him out there. A double play by some not smart base running. If you're scoring at home, it goes 2, 5, 2, 6, 4. Double play. And we'll take another look at it.
The one that makes this play is Mark Surhoff, of tremendous skills in baseball. There's the ball's hit. Now, too much of a lead. He runs him down to home. Here's Mark. Now watch Mark run. He runs to second instead of releasing the ball. As he runs to second, the runner goes closer, throws it off to him. There's the speed to run that and a tag out. So Mark, instead of just throwing to the second baseman, immediately what he did, he ran at the runner. The runner was confused, started going to second, then he threw to the shortstop. Great fundamental baseball, good play by Mark Surhoff.
So actually it goes 2-5-6 on the double play, and for Larchmont Mamaroneck in the second, they come away empty. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left on. And after an inning and a half, it remains Rye 3 and Larchmont Mamaroneck nothing. So big double play.
That was smart by Mark. I really like that. He just got the ball. He was on a third base line. He ran. He actually ran to second base. Now the runner gets confused. He doesn't know which way to go. Then when the runner committed himself, then Mark threw it at second base, and then with the speed, he was tagged out.
All right, we've got another Cable 3 Sports Special coming your way later on this summer in the month of August. We'll be up at the Coverly Club right here in Rye for another look at the Westchester Swim Conference Championships. We'll have both swimming and diving, age groups 8 and under up to 16 and under, and that'll be coming your way in August, both boys and girls. Just check the program guide if you're into the swimming. Westchester Swim Conference Championships, another Cable 3 Sports Special. Well, Chris Hawk remains on the mound, trailing 3-0 as we go to the bottom half of the second. And leading it off is Stephen Rapagalia to Sean Curtin. And Curtin with a nice strong throw in the hole at short, guns him down for out number 1.
Steve, who was just gunned down, will be a senior at Rye High School, and he batted .390. He'll be coming up, another good ball player for Dino Gar.
And now we'll have Frank Consoli, the third baseman, number 13, with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the second inning.
And Frank will be a senior at the high school, and he batted .375.
A little low, ball 1. Outfield straight away.
The Rye ball players coming up. I mean, they're getting their swings in.
Nice play by Doug. Whoa, he didn't come up with it. I thought he had it. Frank Consoli trying to lay one down for a base hit, got it up in the air, and Doug Wilson took a little time to find it and almost made the spectacular play. Did get his glove on it. Nice effort by Doug Wilson back there.
The Rye batters are not holding back. They're making good contact. They're swinging. They're getting their cuts.
1-1 pitch from Chris Hawk. Curveball high. 2-1. Nobody on. Hawk to the plate and fisted down to second base, and that one pops off of the glove. Throw to first, not in time. That one should have been handled by Mike Williams down at second, but the ball never came up to him and rocked off his leg. E4 as Consoli reaches first base, courtesy of the error. And a lot of times, you know, if you're just not down low enough.
No, well, not only that, but the ball is hit. It's not hit sharply. He could have come in and played it, and more or less the ball played him. He bobbled it, was late on a throw, man safe at first.
Good point. Don't let the ball play you. Go after and get it.
Come in for that ball. Then if you do bobble it, you still have a chance to pick it up. It's in front, you could throw the runner out. But if you sit there and wait, you're in trouble.
Throw it to first, not in time. Go to the top of the order now. It's John DeMarco getting his second plate appearance. And we're just in the second inning. John Singleton scored in the first.
He also had a stolen base.
Another throw to first. Hawk with a pretty good move for a right-hander.
He has to have a good move. I mean, he pitched a perfect game, no-hitter against Tuckahoe, so you really have to have everything. And a lot of days, you know, a pitcher has a good day. Everything's, you know, working. The curve is breaking. You know, you hit the corners. Other days, you're just off. There's a strong throw down to first, not in time.
John DeMarco. Another throw to first. DeMarco will be playing for the Gales of Iona next year. Entering the freshman class.
Frank has a good lead. He has a good lead there. Really shakes the pitcher up. He thinks he has too big of a lead, and then he tries to watch him carefully and throwing over constantly. But when he does, he gets back quickly. Frank reacts quickly, gets back, he's safe, And then he steps out a little bit further. Then before you know it, boom, he takes off for a second. That's a stolen base on the pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to DeMarco.
It's a nice, good lead that Frank has. A beautiful lead.
There he goes, and the pitch cut on down the right field line, coming on in a hurry, Jerome Kenny, and he makes the catch, and the throw to first, and that's a double play. Consoli running on the pitch, and he was well around second base when Andrew Schwartz came flying in to make the grab, and that's our second double play in the ball game. For Rye in the second, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. We've completed 2. It's Rye 3, Larchmont, Mamaroneck, nothing. Back here at Disbro Park, John Carrillo along with Ray Karowski and Stephanie Ives and the entire Cable 3 sports team enjoying another sunny Saturday afternoon, watching a little baseball.
A great day for baseball.
3-0 is our score. We're going to the top half of the 3rd inning, scheduled for 7 this afternoon, and the opening weekend of the 10th annual Rye City Baseball Invitational. We've had 3 double plays already in 2 innings so far, and only 1 has been your typical 4-6-3 double play. The rest of them, they've been running around the base paths.
They did have that hit and run on, so the man going down to second is already past second base, and when the ball is caught, he doesn't have a chance to get back and touch first. So there you have double play.
All right, it'll be the designated hitter Frank DeRaffoli, number 13, getting his first plate appearance, and goes after the first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Frank's a sophomore at Cortland, and he plays baseball there. Now here we have another college baseball player.
Facing the offerings of Andy Luckhart. Curveball, that's a little bit high, 1-1.
Played for Mamaroneck High School.
Outfield playing relatively short for DeRaffoli. This one popped up, heading into foul territory, and that one will be out of play. Oh, that guy didn't even move out of his chair.
See, the fans here don't keep the balls. They throw them back in. It's like in Chicago.
Do you know what? Do you know how that all came about? In ballpark? No, in ballparks where you're allowed to keep the foul ball. Do you know how that happened? It's an interesting story about that.
Okay, I'm willing to listen.
You are?
Yep.
Oh, that's great to hear. You're the first one. That one fouled off. It was back in the early 1900s. You've heard of sportscaster Len Berman? You have him?
Yeah.
Okay. A relative of his caught a foul ball in the stands. I believe it was in Chicago or Cleveland actually, and refused to give it back. And ballpark made a big stink about it, threw him out of the stadium. That's in there, strike 3. As DeRaffoli goes down looking, strikeout number 4 for Andy Luckhart in the game. And after they threw him out of the ballpark, he decided to sue the Cleveland Indians. And because of that, the ballparks decided that it's better to let the fans keep the baseballs. And since
That's interesting. That really
everybody
is.
Gets it. Thanks. You're the first one who thought it was interesting,
They had
too.
to go to court to get the baseball.
That's it. That's how it works, thanks to Len Berman's relative. All right, here comes Charlie Lanza now, the second baseman. With 1 out, nobody on. He goes after the first pitch, lines it in the left field, base hit. A lot of these guys I've noticed now that we're here in our second game are first ball hitters, and I think they may be sitting in there guessing fastball on that first pitch, and they're getting it.
Well, a lot of times the batter will come up and he'll swing at his pitch with the first best one, and if the first one's coming down, that's his pitch, he'll take the swing. And a lot of times the first pitch may be a strike, but it's not his pitch, he'll let it go, knowing that he has 2 more to swing at.
Throw over to first is
So
not
on
in time.
on the first pitch, what you should do is, go for the strike, but hit the inside corner, outside corner, or top of the knees.
That's low. This is Bill Kirkpatrick, the left fielder, and the number 9 hitter.
And he'll be a sophomore at St. Bonaventure. He plays baseball there. He played his high school ball at Mamaroneck High School.
High hopper. They're going to have to hurry to get 1. They didn't get any. Charlie Lanza with good hustle. That one just took a long time to come down to Amoruso at shortstop, and is flipped to second, not in time. Infield hit for Billy Kirkpatrick.
And that was the high bouncer, just like it was going off the AstroTurf. And when it's so high, you can't do anything about it. You know, as an infielder, you have to wait for it to come down. And as it's coming down, those guys on the base paths are motoring. And then by the time you get it, it's too late.
So Larchmont Mamaroneck threatening here. Runners at first and second with one out. We go to the top of the order. Sean Curtin fouls the first pitch away. Strike one. And as he walks away.
I flinched on that one. This came right out.
Ah, says I heard Sean Metz saying to himself, I should have waited on that one.
A little bit ahead of it.
Yep. Sean struck out in the first inning. Tries to lay it down. It's foul ball. And quickly Luckhart ahead on the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
That was not a sacrifice bunt. What he was doing, he was trying to bunt to get a hit, and that's what you have to do. You just have to rotate your hips. You pivot on your right and left foot, drop the bat, try to get it in fair territory, and get a hit. It's done very quickly. As soon as the ball is released, all you do is open up your hips, lay down a bat, and try to get the hit.
All right, Sean Curtin now choke up on the... And he lays off the high fastball. It's 1-2. 2 on, 1 out. Top half of the third inning. Rye leading 3-0. Mamaroneck threatening here. Andy Luckhart on the mound, trying to get out of this jam. Reaches out for this one, pokes it into center field. Joe King, and he can't find it. Lost it in the sun. And everybody's going to move up. Nice play by Andy Luckhart backing up as that throw came sailing in the middle of the infield. Joe King looked like he had a beat on it, then all of a sudden just threw his hands up, did not know where it was, and it dropped in for a single.
It's a high fly ball in center field, and this is what you want to do. You want to get your glove, you want to cover the sun, and a lot of times you lose the ball because of the sun. And then you have the major leaguers, they have sunglasses, the eye glare, and then they're trained so that they flip. Now, he doesn't have sunglasses out there, so that was difficult right up against the sun. In the meantime, Sean did not give up. He did not assume that it was caught, and he goes to second base.
That's a base hit. And that one, Mike Williams fouled it and hit him right in the head. Came right off the bat on a foul ball. One got the ball, and the ball came right off the bat into his face. Seems to be all right. Everybody's taking a look at him. Boy, I don't care what anybody says. You get hit with a hard ball. It could be in the leg, the stomach, anywhere. It hurts.
So he seems to be all right. He's just going to take a little time to catch his breath. Quick ice. Put that on. That you don't see that too often. Yeah, but he fouled that one off, and it just came right up and hit him below the lip of the helmet.
The pitch was an inside pitch. He didn't have his arms extended, and as he was swinging, his body turned, and the ball just came right off the bat into his face. And you always tell a batter to keep your head in there because you can't hit what you can't see. So if your head's in there and the ball comes right off just that angle, it's a peculiar angle, but I don't. Get hit with a baseball, you know, it does hurt.
Well, Mike's going to stand right back in there.
1 strike, 1 out.
Yeah, he's only going to be a sophomore at Mamaroneck High School. He's a youngster. He's tough. He's going back in there.
Yep. He's got the bases loaded and 1 out.
And he wants a hit right here.
That's slow in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. And here the Larchmont Mamaroneck bench starting to whoop it up a bit. Luckhart to now come from the full windup with the bases loaded. 1 away. High fastball, swing and a miss, 1-2.
And you can see Rye has their infield in. They don't want this run to score.
Well, they actually, the first and third baseman are playing in, second and short back in double play depth. They'd like to get that deuce if they could. That's outside.
They're hoping right here, if it does go down to the third baseman, he'll throw home and a catcher will throw to first. He'll get the double play. If it goes to shortstop or second baseman, they'll turn over the deuce right there.
2-2 pitch. Soft fly ball, and that'll go foul. Just a tad in front of it.
He was ahead of it, ahead of the pitch. It's not a bad pitch by Andrew, though. He's coming in with the fastball. Then he'll come up with a changeup and keep the batters off balance.
Well, he has 4 strikeouts so far in the game. But in this inning, he got Durafferly, the leadoff hitter, to go down on strikes. Then 3 straight singles, including the one that Joe King lost in the sun. And that one hit the bat.
That hit the knob of the bat.
Yep. This is a tough at-bat for Mike Williams.
Hit the little knob. It's unbelievable. It's bounced right off the knob.
Now, the only thing I could say is that justice would be served if he hit this one out of the ballpark.
He's lucky he didn't hit his hands to break a finger. Or 2.
Or 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded, 1 away. Andy Lockhart kicks and deals. Flying shot into the stands.
And there's another ball for the fans. Don't throw it back in. If they demand for it, take it to court.
Take them to court. The People's Court. Well, the count remains 2-2.
He's staying alive. Bases loaded. You take a deep breath. The air out slowly.
Goes after it to the box. They'll go to home for 1. Throw to first. Double play. What a gun by Mark Surhoff. Whipping it down to Tommy Armas. That double play, 1, 2, 3. Oh, my goodness. Watch the throw by Surhoff.
Here's the shot right to the pitcher, right to home. Now you go to first. There's the gun, the rifleman. Right down to first base. Excellent play. We mentioned before, the third baseman, the first baseman, they get it, they're coming home. We forgot to mention a pitcher.
All right, for Larchmont Mamaroneck, they pick up no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And at the end of 2.5, it remains Rye 3, Larchmont Mamaroneck nothing. And we'll return with more of this Cable 3 Sports Special in just a moment. We're set to go to the bottom of the 3rd, and Mike Bach leading it off for Rye. Goes after the first pitch. Fly ball right field. And that one's going back, and over the shoulder grab by Andrew Schwartz. And he was really fighting the sun out there.
He made it exciting. Going back to the fence. Behind his back, comes up with the catch. Long out.
First out here in the 3rd. And we'll now bring up Mark Surhoff, the catcher.
You look up in the sky, there's not a cloud.
Nope.
Clear blue sky.
You know, and I'm really surprised none of the outfielders today are wearing sunglasses. And they ought to try to hit one of the stores in Rye in a real hurry to get a couple of them out there, because it is brutal.
You really have to know how to use those sunglasses, though. You really, I mean, they practice and practice when to flip it down, when to see. It's unbelievable all the time, just to know how to use the sunglasses.
All right, Surhoff, who singled to drive in a run in the 1st, also came around to score. He's 1 for 1 today. Chris Hawk has really settled down after that rough 1st inning.
Mark batted .400 during the season at Rye.
That one ripped down the line, foul.
Here's an all-time, we call old-time ball player, and not specializing in one, doing everything, all section in football, basketball, and baseball. Play them all.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Surhoff.
Have fun, enjoy your high school years, play the sports. But the important thing is studying. Have to study. Keep those grades up.
Inside. 2-2. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the 3rd inning. 3-0 to score. Rye on top. Chris Hawk on the mound. Curveball repped into the whole base hit. Surhoff now 2 for 2 in the game. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Joe King, number 7, the center fielder. He singled to drive in a run in the first.
That ball by Surhoff, that was ripped. You get that thing going right through between the shortstop and the third baseman with that speed, it is ripped. If the ball goes over the fence, then it's tanked.
Popped up, and that'll be out of play. Bruce Negrin now over at our first base camera making a valiant try for it. Yeah, that's what they'll call it anyway.
Joe King going to Franklin and Marshall, playing 2 tough sports in college, football and baseball. And then keeping up your schoolwork.
Curveball misses high and outside. 1-1 the count to Joe King with a runner on and 1 out, bottom half of the third.
There are so many excellent small colleges in Pennsylvania. It's unbelievable. Great schools.
That one's a little low. Didn't realize you were moonlighting for the Pennsylvania Tourism Board.
Oh, no. Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm not far from
No
Franklin
kidding.
and Marshall and Lehigh, Lafayette, Kutztown, Westchester University.
Runner goes, and Doug Wilson just couldn't come up with a pitch. And Surhoff in.
And then you have the great schools like Penn State and the University of Pittsburgh.
Don't forget University of Pennsylvania.
Ivy League school, tremendous pre-med law.
Ah, that Keystone State.
You know so much about Pennsylvania. What's the state flower?
Ooh, got me. Fly ball, center field, or left field. Bill Kirkpatrick coming on. He's got a beat on it, and it's off his glove. Surhoff will go into third. And again, the sun playing havoc out there. Bill Kirkpatrick, you see there, just despondent over that miss. I don't, well, it looks maybe that caught him on the top of the head.
And he is looking directly into the sun on a fly ball.
All right, that'll go in the book as an error. It looked like Kirkpatrick had a beat on it, settled right underneath it, and then fell off his glove. May have caught him on the top of the head as well. But it is tough out there. Take another look. I don't know if we'll be able to see her now. You'll see Kirkpatrick coming on, and yeah, I think it did. Got him on the top of the head, right off of the end of his glove. And that puts runners at second and third now. So Rye threatening once again with 1 out. 2 runners in scoring position, and it'll be Tommy Armas, the first baseman, who walked back in the first.
And he's going to play football and baseball at pace.
That one in the hole. The infield drawn in, gets right past. Surhoff is in, and they're going to try to score Joe King as well. The throw is off the money. Back down to second. Got him there. Tommy Armas trying to stretch it. Give him a single and 2 runs batted in. And then he is thrown out 2-6, trying to stretch it into the double. But as you see, the infield drawn in, and not a good chance for Mike Woods at second to pick it up, but a good throw by Doug Wilson down to second to eliminate Armas for the second out in the inning. But right now up 5-0.
Did you see Joe King coming in there on a cloud of dust, head first slide and home plate?
I know, I'm still
so we're all dusty here. Joe, take it easy on him.
Mark Amoruso, shortstop. He hit into a double play in the first. Swings and fouls the first pitch off, strike 1. And that got a piece of Doug Wilson behind the plate. They're getting a little bit of everybody here today.
Getting banged up.
Yeah, they sure are. Wilson will take a little time to walk it off. Chris Hawk heading back to the mound.
Can you imagine a catch like Gary Carter getting hit like that, you know, in the leg, in the shin? So badly, you know, bruised up. battle scars. Yeah, pitchers coming in with 93, 94, 95 miles an hour. Foul tip. Get hit off the toes.
No fun.
Ouch.
No fun.
Get hit in the head.
And Mr. Amoruso trying to bunt for a base hit. Fouls it off, and that means counts now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Amoruso will be a junior at Rye High School. This past season, he batted .407.
1-2.
As a sophomore, .407.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Ripped into right field, base hit, may go for extra bases. Big turn by Amoruso, and that ball gets past the right fielder, Andrew Schwartz, and into second base is Amoruso with a double. This one right down the line as Amoruso went with the pitch, and you see Schwartz coming over here. And that one bouncing off of his glove. Amoruso made the big turn. He was going for 2 all the way. And now Jerome Kenny. Kenny popped to the first baseman in the first, 0 for 1. And this one lifted into deep right field. And off of the glove of Andrew Schwartz. Oh, the outfielders are having all kinds of trouble today. Double for Kenny and an RBI.
And again, in right field, you're looking right up into that sun. Very difficult out there. Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to say it's the sun or what?
It's the sun.
It's the sun?
It's the sun.
Jeez. But Rye outfielders have the sun, too.
Yeah, they do. They're playing in the same field. Well, Joe King has already lost one up there.
That's right.
And this one a double because that one over the head. And you can't assume the outstanding play. So an RBI double for Kenny. And now here comes Steven Rapgalia, the designated hitter, who bounced to short in the second inning. 6-0 now the score. Rye with 3 runs here in the third inning. Still 2 outs. Runner goes. Throw down to third. And they got him there. So Rye trying to make things happen. As Jerome Kenny tries to steal third, he is gunned down by Doug Wilson, and that will end the inning for Rye, but not before they scored 3 times on 3 hits. We had 1 error, and nobody left on base. And at the end of 3 complete, it is now Rye 6 and Larchmont Mamaroneck nothing. Well, the outfielder's having trouble.
I don't know. We got to figure this out. If it's the sun or the outfielders, or if the ball is just too high, it's moving, floating.
Well, you can't say that's the wind because there isn't any.
There's no wind.
It's difficult. Let's show you what we've got coming up here next on the Cable 3 Sports schedule. It has to do with our softball game of the week. We're going to be in White Plains, as a matter of fact, for our next effort. And as was the case today, we've got another doubleheader for you, this time from the city of White Plains, and the women are going to get their moment in the sun or the television cameras, whichever you prefer. We've got 2 of them. Game 1 will feature the White Plains Industrial League All-Stars, and following that one will be the Westchester Women's Industrial All-Star game. Both of those coming under the White Plains Recreation Department, under the lights at Delfino Park in White Plains. And we'll have it for you, both of them, Thursday, July the 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Next up on the softball game of the week. 6-0 our score as we go to the top of the 4th inning. And leading the way for Larchmont Mamaroneck will be Joe Messina, the first baseman. Messina struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Pounds this one off of the plate. Luckhart with the ball, flips to first in time, and we got one away. Nice play by Andy Luckhart coming off the mound. Bouncing off of there to make the grab.
Quick as a cat.
Yeah, throw Messina out. This is another one. We've had a bunch of these that have popped off of the plate, and Luckhart behind the shoulders, and quick toss made it a close play at first for the first out here in the 4th inning. Now Doug Wilson, the catcher, doubled into the gap in right center, his first appearance, that in the second. 1 for 1 today. His ball club trailing 6-0, top half of the 4th inning. Coming up in between innings, we are going to have a chance to visit with tournament director Ralph Vallone. Stephanie Ives will be handling that.
He handcuffed him on that pitch.
Doesn't sound right.
1 to count to Wilson. High.
Yeah, he's throwing him inside.
1-1.
Doug went for the
1-1.
first one, so he's going to
yeah.
try to throw him
I
inside.
don't
See if
think
he
you
goes
want
for
to
another
get
one.
this where he can extend his arms.
Exactly.
Curveball missed outside. 2-1 the count. Nobody on and 1 out. On the inside corner. Good spot.
He's sticking with the inside. He's staying with it.
2-2 count now to Doug Wilson, the catcher. And fouls that one off the screen. Count remains 2-2. Doug will be at Westchester Community College next year as a freshman for those West Coes. Did you know that?
Now I know.
Now you know. See, you know,
Come on, give me the good schools.
Well,
I mean, I'm not the good, the big ones.
You could be the hit at your next party when you start reeling these off to your
like,
sports friends.
Pace,
Yeah,
pacers.
give them the good one. The pace setters, the setters. Swan, slow roller, cut off at third nicely, throw over to first in plenty of time. Nice play by Frank Consoli, cutting in front of Mark Amoruso to throw out Wilson. And that is the second out here in the 4th inning.
Let's go to how NYU.
Ooh.
Oh, come on, NYU.
I don't know NYU.
The Violets.
I was going to say that.
Oh, you would have been so.
Violets. That's a good one. How about University of Vermont?
Vermont?
Yeah. Here comes Andrew Schwartz as Karowski continues to mull that one over. Ball 1. The Catamounts.
Catamounts.
Yep. Schwartz bounced to short in the 2nd inning.
How about Westchester University?
The Vikings. No, that's not right.
The Rams.
Oh, that's right. The Rams. Should have known that one, too.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I know.
I gave you an easy one.
You did, you did. On the knees. 2-1. I have a brother-in-law that likes to play that game. Name the college
We used to do that in
nicknames.
college a lot.
That's why those
No.
those obscure colleges are the best ones. That's low in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Andrew Schwartz, with nobody on and 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th inning.
A tough one like South Carolina. A lot of guys could not get that.
Oh, I know that one. That's major school. That should be an easy one. High hopper, played nicely by Amoruso at short, throws it away. Threw it behind Tommy Armas, and Schwartz is on. E6, error to the shortstop. And this one took a nice hop, came right up to him. He may have hurried his throw a little bit, and Armas trying to stay on the bag, just couldn't reach it. Did not get away far enough for Schwartz to advance to second, but he's down at first with 2 outs. And now Jeff Luddy, the center fielder, hit into an interesting double play to end the 2nd inning, as Rye was able to get 2 runners, including Luddy, in a rundown. There's another slow roller, and again cut off nicely at third by Frank Consoli, and he flips over to first in time. So no damage done. It's Larchmont Mamaroneck comes away empty here in the 4th. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left on. And at the end of 3.5 here at Disbro Park in Game 2 of our sports special, it remains Rye 6 and Larchmont Mamaroneck nothing. So we told you this is the 10th annual Rye City Baseball Invitational Tournament, and the man who is running the whole kit and caboodle is Ralph Vallone. And right now he's standing down at first base with Stephanie Ives.
Thank you, John. We're back here in the middle of the 4th inning with Ralph Vallone again. And Mr. Vallone, tell me, how did this tournament get started 10 years ago?
Oh, we started 10 years ago with 4 teams and went to 6 teams after 2 years, and then we went to 8 teams in the 3rd year. and now we're at 12 teams, and that's where we'll stay from here on in. We have probably the best talent in the county, and we're happy with what we get.
Well, it certainly has grown, and with the growth of all the teams being added on, the prestige of the tournament has grown, and because of its prestige, you have some very important corporate sponsorships. Would you like to tell us about those?
I certainly would. We have Pepsi Cola, who donate T-shirts and a lot of their soda. Give us 100 cases for the tournament. And now we have Cadbury Candy Company, the fundraising division, graciously put up $5,000 worth of merchandise this year also. And we'd like to thank Rye Recreation and also the DPW.
Well, we will thank them. Now, since this is such a big tournament, there have been a lot of scouts, I hear, around here, and some of the players that have played here over the years have gone on to bigger and better things.
They certainly have. We have Yale, Dartmouth, St. John's. We have Concordia College. We have some professional scouts down. We've had a young man who played here, just moved up to, I believe, the Oakland A's this week, Walt Weiss. And we've had a lot of young men in very good, prestigious colleges.
Okay, thank you very much. And John, we'll go back to you for some more of the action.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. As we move down to the bottom half of the fourth inning, and leading it off for Rye will be Stephen Rapgalia, who was up when Jerome Kenny was thrown out at third, attempting to steal. And Ralph Vallone, our thanks to him, puts on just a great tournament year after year. And indeed, our pleasure to come up here and broadcast a couple of games for you. Some real fine hardball. Chris Hawk still on the mound for Larchmont Mamaroneck. He trails 6-0, bottom half of the fourth inning.
And some of the Major League scouts here that I know, and I spoke to Brian Collins from the California Angels and Neil Summers from the Cincinnati Reds.
Fly ball, left field. Bill Kirkpatrick underneath it, and this one he hauls in for the first out. It's an adventure with those fly balls.
No trouble there in that one.
So 1 up, 1 down. It'll be Frank Consoli, the third baseman. He reached on an error in the second inning. Consoli, the number 9 hitter in the Rye order. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Rye leads 6-0. North Castle and Eastchester already winners in this first day of the tournament. And first pitch inside, ball 1.
And Eastchester came in at bottom of the 7th inning. Mike Ciceri comes up with that key hit right up the middle, drives in 2 runs, wins the game.
In the dirt.
That was a good game, excellent. Ball was flying around, runs, we saw a home run.
We had everything.
You know, you've done many, many baseball games throughout the years. There's softball, hardball, summer, during the school year. Have you ever seen a no-hitter?
Never. There's a short fly ball, Sean Curtin on the outfield grass, and he will haul that one in for the second out. You know, of all the games that I've seen, we have never had a no-hitter or a perfect game on Cable 3. And I'm dying to see
They're
one.
hard to come by.
Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah, the only time you read about it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Remember going to a no-hitter.
Go up to the top of the order now. John DeMarco, the second baseman, 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first, and hit into an inning-ending double play in the second. And the first pitch over, strike 1. Now, Chris Hawk has pitched a very good ball game. His defense has let him down a bit as the outfielders have struggled with the fly balls.
Came with the curveball.
Evens the count at 1-1. High hopper. Curtin, long run, took a bad hop and will go into center field for a base hit. That one hit right on the edge of the grass in the infield dirt and flew off to his right.
That reminds me of the time like Ozzie Smith was going the same direction for the ball into his glove, and then it just went to the side. He barehanded it and threw the man out in first, and that's exactly what he tried to do. Barehanded, but it was a little bit too far out of his reach.
Yeah, Curtin almost came up with that one, but it goes as an infield single for DeMarco, and now Mike Bach as Hawk tosses over to first to keep DeMarco close. Bach singled and scored in the first and fly to right in third. A circus catch by Andrew Schwartz out there over the shoulder by the fence. Runner goes. Ball is low. Throw down to second, and it is not in time. Stolen base for John DeMarco, his second of the game. Puts him down in scoring position with 2 away. And Mike Bach now with a count of 1-0. Rye with that 6-0 lead, content to run the bases. Curveball off of the plate. This will be taken by the first baseman. Tosses to first. Not in time. Chris Hall coming over to cover. And Joe Messina throwing it a little high and behind Hawk, who was able to come down with it.
Tell you, Michael Bach was really motoring down there too. He made that, you know, rush to throw. Good speed by Michael.
And now it'll be Mark Surhoff, getting his 3rd appearance at the plate, and we're in the 4th inning. Surhoff 2 for 2 in the game, has singled twice, scored twice, and has driven in a run.
Man on first and third. Let's watch if he goes down to second. He's got a good lead.
Time called.
Michael's got good speed, a good lead. Take advantage of any slight mistake by the pitcher, and he'll go to second, and then with Mark up with a good hit, he'll try to get in 2 more runs. Let's see if Mark's looking for a fastball. It comes right into a straight. He's going to cut.
There he goes. They throw the pitch out, and Wilson just holds on to the baseball. No throw anywhere. So stolen base by Bach. Well, they called it right. They threw the pitch out, and Wilson holding on. We'll take another look from the third base camera, and you see a pretty good jump. And it's a flat-out steal all the way, no throw. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Surhoff. And now Hawk behind on the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
Now Hawk threw the curve. Now I don't think he'll throw him a straight ball down a pipe. He may stay with the curve, change up. Try to sneak a slider in there. Nothing down a pipe for Mark.
Yeah, tough to pitch around him when you got Joe King waiting on deck. You get a look from overhead from Chris Chulo, who's been up in the bucket all day long. Pickoff attempt, no throw. Three balls, no strikes. Give him the green light here. 3-0.
No, I don't think so.
Nope.
Now, see, no green light. Now, Mark was a little bit distraught on that one. He just thought, ooh, that's the one he wanted.
That's right. 3-1.
There's 2 swings here now. He'll come in with a curve.
He did, and it's up high.
Yep.
Ball 4, so Surhoff walks, and that loads him up for the cleanup hitter, Joe King. Single to drive in a run in the first, reached on an error, and scored in the third. And we'll have a courtesy run here now for Rye.
You don't have to report the name, Morgan.
I'm trying to see who the courtesy runner is. It's a rule they have in this tournament. If there are 2 outs, then the catcher automatically gets a courtesy runner.
I don't see his number. Can't see it from here.
He had number 24 on his back, but Michael Bach wears 24. Got Jimmy Thompson down at first base. And the courtesy runner for Mark Surhoff. That rule with 2 outs, the catcher automatically comes out so he can get his gear on, and just an effort to try to speed up the game. And there's a ground ball to Curtin at short. Bobbles it, and he will not have a play. Throw back to third. He's safe. Just able to dive back in there. is Mike Bach. But Curtin trying to hustle on the play, and he bobbles it, so an error for Curtin. No RBI on the play.
There's the hit by King to shortstop. There it's bobbled. Now he has no chance at home. He looks at third. It's a little bit too late, but he does throw to third, trying to get the man coming back into third. Just everyone's safe.
So the bases remain loaded.
You can't bobble that ball. You can't make a mistake like that. You have to come up with the ball clean and know exactly where you're going to throw it. Because ahead of time, you have to know. If it comes to me, you have to know exactly where you're going to go with the ball.
It's Tommy Armas now. Walked in the first and singled to drive in 2 runs in the third, then was gunned down trying to stretch it into a double. Bases are loaded. That's inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Armas. 7-0 the score. Rye on top. Base hit. And they will score but 1 as Thompson holds up at third base. An RBI single for Tommy Armas. He now has 3 ribbies on the day. And this one hit on the nose.
This ball was ripped
into center field. Makes it 8-0 in favor of Rye here in the bottom of the 4th. Bases are still loaded, and now will be Mark Amoruso, the shortstop. Hit into a double play in the first, doubled and scored in the third. 1 for 2.
2 out.
Mark is a hitter. He makes good contact, good batting average.
Fist this one, and it falls in. Another hit. And 2 more runs are going to score. Here's a play down at third, and that one gets away and goes into the dugout. It's a dead ball, and a run will score. Another run will score, as on that hit, Amoruso ends up clearing the bases.
He had 2 RBIs, a double.
And throw an error in there as well on the throw. So we'll take another look at it. Mark Amoruso. This one off of the handle, just over the glove of Sean Curtin. Fielded out there by the left fielder, Bill Kirkpatrick, and then his throw coming into third gets away, and that allowed Tommy Armas to come around and score.
One thing you can say about the right batters, they're not going up to the plate, looking at the pitches. If it's over, they're swinging away.
You know, this is all with 2 outs.
Yeah, 2-out rally.
Yeah, Chris Hawk got the first 2 batters to go, and then single, single, walk, error, single, single.
They're not going up there looking at the pitch, where is it or what. If it's over, they're swinging.
2 balls and no strikes. 5 runs in here in the 4th. Makes it 11-0. That one fouled off.
2-1.
And again, it's not that Chris Hawk is pitching poorly. A couple of errors. Curtin again bobbles it at short. He'll have to hurry, and it won't be in time. E6.
And an RBI.
No RBI on an error.
No RBI.
No RBI.
Oh, you call that an error? That was hit hard.
Oh, that one should have been handled.
That's right.
Even you could have come up with that one. Well, no. It was hit hard.
I would have had that, yeah.
But this one, at the point now, you're just trying to get that last out, and you're hustling and hurrying and just making mental mistakes. And unfortunately for Chris Hawk, he was the starting pitcher, and he's going to come out of the ball game. And that means we'll get a new one in, and it's going to be number 1, Anthony Tagliamonte, a right-hander. Be a freshman at Iona College this coming fall.
And he'll be playing baseball at Iona. And he went to White Plains High School. Too many errors. How many errors did?
Well, in this inning alone, they've had 3. total of 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 errors,
7 errors
committed by Larchmont Mamaroneck in this ball game, and that just goes to prove it. You know, out of the 11 runs, look at that, 6 and 7. There you go, 7 errors for Larchmont Mamaroneck, and that goes to prove the point that Chris Hawk pitched very well, but just didn't get the support behind him. Should have been out of this inning long time ago. And Rye is taking advantage and have built up a 12-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 4th. So Hawk is finished for the day, and now Anthony Tagliamonte will try to get this final out. All of these runs, a 2-out rally by Rye.
Yeah. Now Steve is batting around a second time this inning.
That's right. So I have runner at first. They may have him. Oh, throw a little high.
You know, I remember when I was umpiring, John, if it was like the 5th inning and the team was ahead by 13 or more runs, you can call it. Well, I wonder if that's an effect.
I don't know, to be honest with you. We'll check on that at the end of the inning. It may be because of all of the ball games that they have to get in. That one ripped down the third baseline foul. This is Steven Rapgalia, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game, but he's the number 10 hitter, making his second plate appearance here in the 4th. He opened up the inning by flying out to left field. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at first. Rye leading 12-0. That's a low bridge, 1-1. Anthony Tagliamonte. Sidearms it in, foul tip, 1-2.
Tough job here for the umpires.
That curveball came in a little bit high, and it evens the count at 2-2. Fouled off the screen. Count remains 2-2.
This is a long inning for Doug Wilson, a catcher from Mamaroneck.
Oh, yeah. Well, Rapgalia's hanging tough in the batter's box with 2 strikes on him, a couple of foul pitches. Tagliamonte trying to get out of this inning, and it has been a long one. A little bit out in front of that slow curveball and pokes it into the stands. The left side.
Game ball for the fans.
That's low or high? Low. He got down low.
A little high.
And he runs the count full to 3-2. So Jerome Kenny will be off and running on the pitch, and that one a little squibber off the end of the bat.
Keep himself alive.
We'll get Kenny back to first base. Tagliamonte working in a hurry. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Rapgalia goes down on strikes, and that's going to do it here in the 4th, but not before Rye scores 5 times on 4 hits. There were 3 errors, and we had 1 left on. So at the end of 4 complete here at Disbro Park, it's Rye 12 and Larchmont Mamaroneck nothing. And we return to Disbro Park right after this.
A special message to all you
runs for Rye in that 4th inning, making it 12-0. There is no mercy rule in the Rye baseball tournament, so they're going to play this one out. A couple of defensive changes. We're going to move some players around. Different catcher, different shortstop, and a brand new first baseman. You can see
right there walking out to the mound. The new catcher, that'll be Tommy Armas, number 2, as he comes in from first base. Mark Surhoff, who had been catching, is now moving to the shortstop position, number 5. And our brand new first baseman will be Pat Duffy. And he will come in, if you're scoring at home, he will bat in Mark Amoruso's spot. So Amoruso, the player coming out of the game. Surhoff moves to short, Armas moves to the catcher spot, and Duffy is the new first baseman. So we go to the top half of the 5th inning. Frank DeRaffoli, the designated hitter, to lead it off. He was called out on strikes back in the 3rd. Facing the offerings of Andy Luckhart, who has been staked to a 12-0 lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. Big 2-out rally. Bunch of errors by Larchmont Mamaroneck, helping Rye to boost that advantage. Bottom 3rd of the Larchmont Mamaroneck order, facing Andy Luckhart. There's a slow curveball that DeRaffoli swings and just gets a piece of. And now behind on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. That hit the tap. No, he didn't go. I thought it got a piece of the bat, but they checked down to first and said he did not go around, so it is a ball.
No. No, I am. 1-2.
Well, the count now at 1-2. Leadoff hitter here in the 5th.
Andrew has a pitch to waste here. He can put it outside or inside.
Throws the curveball. Bounder in the 2nd. Nice play over there. Throw it over in time. John DeMarco showing good range. Went a long way to haul that one in, and is tossed over to Duffy at first in time, and we have one away. Now we'll have Charlie Lanza, the 3rd baseman, climbing in. Here's another look at it. Look how long DeMarco has to go before he finally hauls it in. Throw over in time. 1 up, 1 down. Charlie Lanza now single back in the 3rd inning. 1 for 1 today. Fouls this one off the screen. Strike 1. 12-0 our score. Rye leading Larchmont Mamaroneck here in the opening round of the 10th annual Rye City Baseball Invitational.
Andrew had a long rest there with that last inning with Rye up at bat.
Doesn't seem to have hurt him too much. Down to 3rd base, Frank Consoli tosses over in time. Got 2 away.
That was a knuckleball. Just saw all the threads. Everything was so clear, just floating right out there.
You know, he's doing a nice job to keep the ball low. There has not been an out registered in the outfield. We've had a couple of base hits. The longest one that was hit was by Doug Wilson back in the 2nd when he ripped a line drive into the gap in right center. After that, the balls have been hit. Singles have been found their way through holes in the infield. The rest of them have been ground balls. Billy Kirkpatrick now the number 9 hitter. He had a single, that back in the 3rd inning. Luckhart, who's gone the distance, has given up no runs and 4 hits. There's 2 outs here, nobody on. 1 strike to Kirkpatrick. And that one's ripped into right center. And Billy Kirkpatrick, 2 for 2 in the ball game. The number 9 hitter. Bottom of the order is getting it done.
Andrew came right in there with a fastball right over the plate. When he stays with his curve and he throws that knuckle and a changeup, then he's making the batters hit it right to the ground. Let's see what he starts throwing here. If he stays with that fastball or he goes with the curve and the knuckle. The curve and the knuckle are working well, then he could come in with the fastball and catch him off guard and get that strikeout.
That's over.
That looked like he was trying to throw a slider. You can tell by the spin of the ball. Trying to get it to fishtail a little bit, either the outside corner of the plate or the inside.
Throw over to first, not in time.
And with a 12-0 lead, I wouldn't worry about him at first.
No, sir.
I'd concentrate on a batter.
Yes, sir.
You have 2 outs.
And it It is Sean Curtin at the plate.
Bear down.
Curtin 1 for 2, struck out in the first, singled in the third. That one is low and inside.
See that ball like a knuckler? Just you can see the threads, and I'm just little movement on a ball. You don't know where it's going to go. He'll keep you off track with that pitch.
Reached for an outside fastball, and that evens the count at, or actually count now at 1 and 2. Sean Curtin, outstanding athletic career at Mamaroneck High School. Reaches out for this one, pokes it into deep right center, and that will go up against the fence. Kirkpatrick is around third. He will score, and Curtin will go in with a stand-up triple.
Curtin hits this ball. It's below his waist. He's got a lot of strength with the bat, coming around, good speed. It's in his hitting zone. See right here, Curtin goes down low, and a ball is well hit deep into center. There goes King on a horse trying to catch it up against the fence. Now he has to hit the relay man. Hits the relay man. In the meantime, Curtin's on his way to third base with an RBI. Ball was well tagged.
Well, Curtin 2 for 3. Here's Mike Williams as he pokes it into left field. Mike Bach comes over, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. But Larchmont Mamaroneck gets on the board. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and we had 1 left on. And at the end of 4.5 now at Disbro Park, it is Rye 12 and Larchmont Mamaroneck 1.
We have a parade?
We've got a parade coming up. Actually, we've already done it, but just to kind of show you the versatility that we have here at Cable 3. During the July 4th weekend, we taped the Mamaroneck Firemen's Parade as part of our Westchester Perform series, one of the biggest in Westchester. And we're going to replay that one for you because it was so much fun. And we'll have that Sunday, July 26th at 11:30 a.m. Just a week away. Yeah, they're freezing in the truck now.
Going down.
Okay. All right. Yep. Thanks. Just getting a couple of quick substitutions. Larchmont Mamaroneck, they've got a couple of new players out there as well, a new third baseman and a new left fielder. The new third baseman replacing Charlie Lanza will be number 16, Jim Grandolfo. He'll be a freshman at Hobart College coming in the fall. And our new left fielder today is going to be Josh Rittenberg. And he'll be wearing number 17, and he's replacing Bill Kirkpatrick. So both managers getting as many players in as they can.
Give them a chance to play.
No question. But the man who now trying to stop the Rye onslaught is Anthony Tagliamonte, who's on the mound. And the first batter he's facing here in the 5th inning is Frank Consoli, the third baseman, 0 for 2. And he bounced this one up the middle, and that will get through for a base hit. And Consoli now 1 for 3 in the game. So Rye immediately picks up where they left off. They're scoring 12 runs in the first 4 innings. This is a seeing high base hit. Finds its way through the pitcher's mound and right past the glove of Sean Curtin.
You know, he's making good contact with the ball. Anytime the ball goes right up the middle, then he's hitting it square, right on the money. He's not ahead of the ball. He's not behind the ball. He's right on target.
All right, here's John DeMarco. He is 2 for 3 in the game. 2 singles. Has scored twice. Quick toss over to first, not in time. Consoli back in.
2 stolen bases.
Yep. And a double play.
And Rye's coming up. They're swinging. They're swinging at bat.
Grounder to second. Throw to short for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Another slow roller. Mike Williams at second, flipping it to Curtin, and his throw just not in time to get DeMarco over at first, but they do eliminate the lead runner.
That's a sacrifice. There's second to short. Now quickly got to turn it over. He just beats it by a step. You have to be so quick on your movement, and also the arms have to be strong.
Mike Bach now climbing in, 2 for 3 in the game. Singled and scored in the first, flied to right in the third, and singled and scored in the fourth. That one back to the box. They'll go to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. Nice play by Curtin, a low throw by Tagliamonte, and Curtin able to come up with it and step on the bag. So the second straight fielder's choice eliminates the lead runner. Puts Bach down at first base. Watch the play by Curtin. A low throw, and he does a nice job not only picking it up, but able to step on the bag as well. And now Mark Surhoff. He goes after the first pitch and fouls it away, strike 1. Surhoff is 2 for 2 with a walk and 3 runs scored and a run driven in. Curveball, pop fly, and it is the shortstop Curtin who comes behind the bag at second to haul it in, and that's going to do it for Rye as they go relatively quiet here in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and we had 1 left on at the end of 5 complete. It's Rye 12, Larchmont Mamaroneck 1, and we return in just a moment. Clark, as you take a look at Andy Luckhart, has gone the distance for Rye, leading 12-1 as we're down to the what looks to be the final inning and a half of play in this ball game. We've got all kinds of defensive changes for the Rye Garnets as their manager Augie Menkes continues to move players around, getting everybody a chance to play a whole bunch of positions. As a matter of fact, Mark Surhoff now playing his 3rd different position in the ball game. We'll get to those in a second. Leading off here is Joe Messina for Larchmont Mamaroneck. We have a new third baseman, new shortstop, new left fielder, and new center fielder. Joe Messina 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, bounced back to the pitcher. That one's outside, count is 1-1. New third baseman is Mark Surhoff as he moves now from shortstop to third. Over at shortstop will be Joe King as he comes in from center field, and he will be playing shortstop. Swing and a miss, strike 2. In left field, the new left fielder will be the old third baseman, Frank Consoli, and the new center fielder is Mike Bach as he moves from left into center field. So there you have the defensive changes. 1-2 pitch, and that's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's center fielder Mike Bach as he moves from left to center.
These guys can play anywhere at any time.
So they're showing us.
They're all different positions. Utility men.
Now Luckhart runs the count full to Messina at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, no outs. Top half of the 6th inning.
Let's see if Messina comes in with a curveball for the strikeout or a fastball.
Went for the fastball, but it rose up on him, and Messina is on with the walk, and that is just the first walk issued by Andy Luckhart in the ball game.
That's right. It's his first walk, and the pitch was high. He may be getting tired. Coming up high, maybe tiring out.
All right, it'll be Doug Wilson now, the catcher. Wilson 1 for 2, doubled in the second, and bounced to third in the 4th. And he looks like he's played a whole game.
Oh, he had 1 tough inning. That 4th inning.
Curveball, miss outside, ball 1. 12-1 our score. We're here in the top half of the 6th inning. I'm John Caridio along with Ray Karowski and Stephanie Ives, who will be handling our Player of the Game show at the end of this one. That one is low in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes.
Hey, now, look, calm down now.
Well, it looks like we've got a little action in the bullpen. And it looks like Steven Rapgalia doing a little tossing back there. He may be catching. Oh, they almost got Messina.
That close. Whoa. Quick move.
On the outside corner.
12-1. I really don't think he's going to steal. He's not going to take that kind of a chance. You got to play it safe. You got to get the runs. You're going to have to earn them. Andrew, just concentrate on the batter.
I went a little high. And that runs the count to 3-1.
Hey, now, Luck, all you work hard here, Andy, work hard.
Well, he walked the last batter. Let's see if he may be getting tired.
Missed inside. He's not missing by much. He's just a little bit up. And Wilson is the second walk of this inning and of the ball game for Andy Luckhart. And the Rye Brain Trust may have been listening to you, Coach. They're going to take a walk out onto the mound and see just how long Andy Luckhart will be able to go.
Yeah, they have to talk to him, find out. Is he getting tired? How's his arm? Maybe the coach might see he's overstriding, shorting his stride. He's coming up too high on pitches. 2 walks in a row. I mean, he didn't walk a guy before this. He was doing a great job. There's got to be something there that the coach sees. Either it's mechanically, or he's physically tired, or just to calm him down. You know, a lot of times you're ahead 12-1, you think, well, you know, I'll just pitch it in, you know, you can't do that. You just have to pitch hard and good the entire game, no matter what. When you're in there, you do your job.
All right, it'll be Andrew Schwartz, the right fielder, 0 for 2 in the game. Bounced to short, reached on an error. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
Right down there, strike 1.
Now, see that little walk out by the coach? Gave him the word. Now he's got to throw. Throw strikes.
Yeah, he told him no hot dogs at the end of the game unless you get out of this inning here. Infield setting in double play depth. Curveball, and there's a grounder. Finds its way through the hole. Base hit. Joe Messina's around third, and he will hold up there as the throw right on the money. So base hit for Andrew Schwartz, his first of the day, and that loads him up. And we'll bring up Jeff Letty, the center fielder. Jeffrey 0 for 2 in the game. Get another look at it here. This one just able to find its way through the hole. And a good throw out there in right field. Jerome Kenny missed the cutoff man, but it ended up right in the glove of Tommy Armas, who was sitting right at home plate.
And that last pitch was a curveball. It was coming out to the outside, curving to the outside, and he took it to the right. Found the hole, comes up with a base hit, bases loaded.
High fastball, swing and a miss.
You can't go for that sucker pitch. Bases loaded, no outs, infield fly rule is in effect.
Inside.
Counts 1-1. Try to go for the double play. Make him hit it in the ground. Here, Andrew wants to make the pitch so that the batter hits on the ground, they can get a double play. The batter's up there, he wants to go through the hole to at least get 2 RBIs. It's a challenge between the pitcher and the batter. Who will prevail?
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Nobody out, bases are loaded. High and outside, 2-2.
Hey now, Luck, hey now, Luck. Luck, don't throw this away now. To me.
Schwartz 0 for 2 in the game. And he jammed him, just staying alive.
He handcuffed him right there. Inside pitch. They're hitting Andrew's curveball now. It's not breaking that sharp. It's just a slow curve. They're getting the bat on it. He's going to have to come in. He's going to have to throw some smoke or gas. Hit the corner. He's going to have to frame it. It's going to have to be a good pitch right on the corner. Throw the pill. Reach back. Find that energy. Bring it home.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a roller up the middle. It gets through. Base hit. Wilson will hold up at third base. So an RBI single for Jeff Letty. driving Joe Messina from third. Everybody else moves up a base. Wilson down to third. Schwartz at second. Letty is at first. It's now 12-2, and it'll be Frank Durefoli, the designated hitter.
Hey, there were 2 strikes on Letty right here, right up the middle. That means he's making good contact. He's right on top of the ball. It's not going to the right or to the left. Boy, Andrew's having a hard time here. That was a ball right there, that first pitch. He walked the first batter, walked the second batter. Andrew Schwartz gets a hit. Jeff Luddy gets a hit. It's just walking and hitting. Now he helped him out right there. Frank helped Andrew out. That was a high pitch. He went for it. That was a ball.
Still nobody out here in the 6th inning. This one lifted into center field. Bad jump by Mike Bach, but he comes on in a hurry to make the catch, and not nearly deep enough for Doug Wilson to score from third.
Nothing high. Stay off the high stuff.
He went for the high pitch.
That's the first out here in the 6th. Bases stay loaded. And coming in now will be Jim Grandolfo, pinch hitting for Charlie Lanza. Actually, Grandolfo coming in last inning to replace Lanza over at third base. So he's getting his first plate appearance in the game.
And he'll be playing freshman baseball for Hobart.
Hobart College. The
Guys
Hobart Hogies.
They play high school baseball, go right into college baseball. They can't get enough of it. They're always playing. Summertime. Other guys are out having fun in the sun. These guys are playing the game.
That one's fouled back, out of play. One ball and one strike to Jim Grandolfo.
Hey, Jimmy! What do you say, Jimmy?
That one tapped foul.
That curveball looked a little sharper. It was nice and low. It had a nice sharp break, and then it dipped a little bit. That's the curve he has to throw. The one that was hit before, it just broke. A little bit break, a little bit round, and it was hit into right.
Come on, Jimmy, nice and easy.
1 ball, 2 strikes now to Grandolfo with bases loaded and 1 away here in the top half of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Grandolfo went for a high fastball, and that is strikeout number 5 on the day for Andy Luckhard. And now climbing in will be Josh Rittenberg, number 17. Josh came in last inning, replacing Bill Kirkpatrick out in left field. And now we're going to have a courtesy runner for Doug Wilson, the catcher, who was down at third.
Here's an interesting one. Josh will be a freshman at USC. It's a long way from home. Going to the Pacific Coast. The University of Southern California, the Trojans.
That's high. 2 balls, no strikes. Bill Kirkpatrick is the courtesy runner for Doug Wilson down at third. Base is still loaded. 2 outs now. That misses outside, and the count goes to 3-0. Sean Curtin is on deck.
Come on, Luck. Take it easy, please, here, big guy. Number 8. What do you say?
In there, 3-1.
Nice pitch. Nice and low, good speed.
Come on, Luck. Come on, Andy. Hey, now, work with me now.
On the inside corner.
Ooh, I like that strike call. Ooh!
The ISO's trademark.
Yo, instead of going like strike, it's you.
Full count pitch. Grounder. Gets through third base, down to short, long throw is not in time. 1 run is in. They've got runners trapped all over the place. Another run is in. They'll try to get this one to end the inning. And they do. That is the third out, but the run does score. Base hit for Rittenberg. He gets 1 RBI on the play. As we'll take another look at it, see if we can figure out how it scores at home. Starts off with Rittenberg hitting one into the gap, fielded at shortstop by Joe King. His throw to first is not in time. Now 1 run is in, and as they got the runner picked off between second and third, right here another run will score, but because of the huge lead, Rye not too concerned about that one, so they make the tag there to eliminate Jeff Letty on the play. And as we mentioned, 2 runs do come in, so Larchmont Mamaroneck picks up 3 in that inning on a total of 3 hits. There were no errors, and we had 2 left on. So now at the end of 5.5, it is Rye 12 and Larchmont Mamaroneck 4.
The 7 errors by Larchmont Mamaroneck is the thing that really is killing them. It could be a different story, a different ball game. You know, when you look at this field, this is a beautiful field. Also, it's laid out right in the center of a residential area,
Yeah,
just like at Eastchester.
Just what we're looking at.
It's gorgeous.
Tucked inside. If you didn't know it was here, you wouldn't know it was here.
I mean, the only way I know, I look for the 2 stone pillars. Otherwise,
Out in the front,
I just
yeah.
keep going straight. They say when you get to the field, you know, if you're making a right, you look for the 2 stone pillars, you turn in, you go in, and you see this beautiful recreational complex.
All right, bottom half of the 6th inning, Rye leading 12-4, and it'll be Joe King to lead the way. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game, but has been on base all 3 times. He singled to drive in a run in the first, reached on an error twice in both the 3rd and 4th innings, and came around to score both times. And rips this one into the alley in right center field. That one will go all the way to the fence. King around first, and he will cruise into second with a stand-up double. So King on base 4 times, now 2 for 4 in the game. The leadoff hitter, and this one a rope, a frozen rope.
And you can see the technique by King. He has his hands, his face is right behind the ball. It's right into the fence, bounces off. Now he motored up to first, and then he just cruised right into second. The burst of speed was from home to first, and then he knew that he was only going to get a double out of it, so he just slowed up.
All right, Tommy Armas now. Armas walked in the first, singled to drive in 2 in the 3rd, and singled in another run in the 4th. Eventually came around to score. That's a foul ball at first base line.
Boy, this right team's not afraid to swing, are they, John?
No,
They just really rip it into the ball. Anything that's close to that, they just keep going for. Aggressive ball club. Offensively.
Anthony Tagliamonte on the mound in relief of Chris Hawk. And that one's fouled off the right-hand side.
1-2.
And that runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out, runner down at second base. Fisted down the first base side, and that is a fair ball as it hits the bag and gets past the first baseman, Joe Messina. To take another look at it, you'll see this will just go off the outside part of the bag. Right there. And skip through the legs.
Did it hit the bag, though?
It did hit the bag.
Yeah, it's fair. Fair
That's right.
ball. That bag's in fair territory. Good call by Vinny DiIsto at home plate. Excellent call.
Well, you made Vinny's day. He'll sleep good tonight.
That bag is in fair territory.
Here's Pat Duffy now. Duffy getting his first appearance at the plate. Base hit for Tommy Armas. Puts runners now at first and third. Runner goes. Wilson with a throw down to second. Not in time.
Ooh, he goes standing up. Tommy Armas with the speed. If you go down on a steal, second base standing up, you are fast. He's going to play football and baseball at Pace University. He was all league. Ooh, I love that strike call. You hear that?
That's a called third strike as Duffy will take a seat.
You hear that strike call? Wow.
You're not forcing the ground ball. You got a runner in front of you.
There's one guy in the major leagues that really, when he umpires, he turns and he faces the dugout, goes, "Rah!" and he points. I love it. It's really great. You have to be there. As an umpire, you have to have authority, a voice of authority. Bark that call out, and that's it.
All right, now we've got Jerome Kenny climbing in. 1 for 3. His only hit an RBI double in the third inning. 1 out, runners at second and third. That is high. 2 balls, no strikes. 12-4 the score. Rye on top, batting here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Or bottom half of the 6th inning.
A lot of these guys are going to be seeing. Whoa, there's a rip.
Base hit. 1 run is in. And that's all they'll score. Kenny with an RBI single, his second of the day. Scoring Joe King from third. Armas stops at third base. Runners at the corners. And it will now be the designated hitter, Steven Rapgalia.
Kenny gets a rip on this ball. Right up the middle. That's good contact. That ball's ripped. Here comes the center field. Picks it up, throws it to the relay man. He's got to get set home. He's already in an RBI for Kenny.
The designated hitter now 0 for 3 in the ball game. Bounced to short, fly to left, and struck out. Rye batted around in the 4th inning when they scored 6 runs and put this game away. There's a grounder down to short. Sean Curtin goes to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. Mike Williams a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove, trying to make the pivot. And fielder's choice gives Rapgalia the RBI. So Armas scores from third. And you get another look at it. Curtin, nice job charging the ball. Right there, Williams couldn't get out of his mitt. And now we'll have Jim Thompson batting for Frank Consoli in the number 9 spot. Now with 2 away.
Jim Thompson will only be a sophomore at Rye High School. Boys are young.
That one's in the dirt.
You know, a lot of these guys are going to be sophomores, juniors, seniors, and they look big. They're going to be playing football.
Well, you're getting smaller.
Dino Gar's coaching baseball. He's going to have them come out and play football. They're good athletes.
Nice play there by the pitcher, Anthony Tagliamonte, picking up the 1-hopper, flipping over to first in time, and that'll end the inning. As Rye puts 2 more on the board, they get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and we had 1 left on. At the end of 6 complete here at Disbro, it is now Rye 14 and Larchmont Mamaroneck 4. We're back here at Disbro Park. John Caridio along with Ray Karowski and Stephanie Ives. And the upper echelon sitting around here trying to figure out who's going to be the Cable 3 player of the game.
And this is going to be a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Many ball players have done great for the Rye team.
And it's one man who's leading the race right there, Andy Luckhart, as he has gone the distance. Pitched a whale of a ball game on a hot Saturday afternoon. But Larchmont Mamaroneck's got 3 more outs to try to come up with 10 runs to tie this one.
John DeMarco has 2 hits, 2 stolen bases, RBI. He's 2 for 3.
There have been indeed a lot of hitting stars.
Tom Armas, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Ooh, they did great.
All right, Sean Curtin is going to lead it off, but time called before the first pitch. Well, I think since we had the, if it stays the way it is now, since we had a hitter in the first game, probably go with a pitcher in the second game. You know, equal time, all of that stuff. That one's outside.
Well, if it's up to me, you get the whole team up.
Yes, yeah.
It's a team effort.
I'm sure
so
Stephanie'd
everyone's
like that. Give her the whole ball
most
club.
valuable player.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sean Curtin. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, singled in the third, and tripled to drive in a run in the 5th. Top half of the 7th inning. Rye looking to advance in the winner's bracket. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
1-2.
Now see, Andy didn't look too good in the 6th inning. He walked, he gave up hits, but now he comes back to 7th inning and he's throwing well. Keeping the ball low, inside, outside. Look, he's shaking off the calls, shaking them off.
He knows what he wants.
His pitch.
And it's outside.
Wasted it.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now he's going to have to hit the black. He's going to have to hit the black of that plate. That's in the strike area.
5 ball. Maybe trouble. And it will fall in for a base hit. Throw back to first behind him, and just not in time. Good recovery out there. But that a little dinker that fell in front of the left or the right fielder, the center fielder, and the second baseman. And it looked like John DeMarco might have had the best shot at it.
There's Sean. He has a nice high fly ball in center. It's trouble. It's a Texas League error hit. It's right in there now. Alertly throws to first. Oh, very close play.
Working on an 0 for 3 day today. Struck out in the first, hit into a double play in the third, and fly to left. Throw back to first. Very close.
Quick move.
Sean Curtin 3 for 4 in the ball game. One of the few bright spots for Larchmont and Mamaroneck.
Look at that lead. That lead's a little bit too big. Throw over. That's it.
Let him go, Luck.
A little too big. But then again, it's 14-4, John. You concentrate on that batter. That's the guy you want to zip it into.
In there.
Beautiful pitch. Sean's taking a good lead. Take a go. Oh, yeah. Wow.
They got him.
What a move by Eddie. Beautiful move. Picked him off. He saw him taking that lead a little bit too much. He caught him. Nice move. And the ball was thrown perfect right there above first base. And boom, just made it. It's a quick move. You can see Andy, you know, he checks over. He sees taking too much of a lead. Look at that quick move. There he is. He has him right there. The perfect throw.
Well, that's the first out here in the 7th. Mike Williams now with nobody on. Fouls that one away.
2 strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes the count.
Yeah, when you are 10 runs down, you do not get picked off.
Tough to be picked off.
That's a no-no. You don't do that.
That one rising fastball, and the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mike Williams.
And then again, you have to give Andy credit because instead of, you know, really concentrating on the batter because he's ahead by 10 runs, you know, he glanced over, saw that the lead was a little bit too big, and then he took advantage and picked him off.
Slow roller is going to be tough. Throw to first is not in time. Infield single for Mike Williams. That one just off of the plate, and as soon as it got over the head of Luckhart, very tough play for Joe King at shortstop to try to get that out at first.
It was just a slow ground. It was just too slow. You couldn't make a play on it. Anybody going up to first with any kind of speed would make it. Unless the shortstop's very quick and really comes motoring in on it, and then you have the third baseman coming over. It possibly could have been a collision, but in that situation, that was a base hit.
All right, Joe Messina now. And he fouls the first pitch off the screen. Strike 1. 1 out, 1 on. Top half of the 7th inning. Last chance for Larchmont Mamaroneck. They're down 14-4. Down the lines, fair ball. Williams around second, and he will hold up there. So base hit for Joe Messina as Larchmont Mamaroneck refused to just roll over. Runners at first and second, and now that getting picked off at first, a big play.
That was a big play, and also, now when I coach a summer league team, and I tell in the late innings, I tell my third baseman, play close to the line. You see, a little bit too far away from the line. Once it goes down, it could be a double, it could even be a triple. You know, protect the lines. The late innings, you're ahead, protect the lines. Let it go through the other way. Let the fielder come up and make the play and then send it off to the relay man, whatever.
Here's Doug Wilson, who dumps it down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. Williams is around third. As the throw comes in, he will score. And Doug Wilson with his second hit of the day to go along with a double back in the second inning. And Williams scores, and it makes it 14-5.
That's 4 hits in a row. Top of the 7th inning, 4 hits in a row. Now Mamaroneck Larchmont's hitting the lines. There's the shot. It's going to the right field. It's right inside of the line. They're right inside the line for a fair ball. The batter before that hits it right down the third base line. Now right now, see the third baseman's playing? If we get a shot at the third baseman, I'd like to see him protect that line, move a little bit closer to third base.
And that's Mark Surhoff. Well, Surhoff was there a while ago. And the first pitch into Andrew Schwartz is over. Strike one.
Johnny, I'm going.
Schwartz bounced to short in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, and singled and scored a run in the 6th inning. 14-5 now the score, and that one fouled off the screen. And Luckhart ahead on the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
Joe Messina at third base is taking too big of a lead. He's coming down too far. If that ball is hit, a line drive to the third baseman, all he's got to do is take 2 or 3 steps, and it's going to be a double play. Don't take that big of a lead.
Again, fouled off the screen.
Be careful. You have to take your lead according to the third baseman. If he's far away from third base, then you can get that distance as a lead. If he's out in front, then you get even with him. Don't get too much of a lead, because a hard liner right down at third base is 1 out. He walks at third, and that's a double play.
Grounder to short. He'll go to second, get 1 back to first, not in time.
That's cool, you got the out.
So Schwartz, with the fielder's choice, gets credit for an RBI as Messina scores from third. Wilson is eliminated down at second base, and that will be 2 away now.
You see they're trying to turn over the deuce. There's one. See the pivot. He was just a little bit, didn't have the movement on a pivot, and there's no strength in the arm. 1 sure out.
So 2 outs now here in the top half of the 7th inning, as Larchmont Mamaroneck has scored twice here in the 7th, but they're now down to their final out, trailing by 8 runs. And it is Jeff Letty, 1 for 3 in the game. Into a double play in the second, bounced to third in the fourth, then singled in the 6th, but was thrown out as he was ended up straying off of second base a bit too far. 14-6 the score, Rye on top. And it looks like they will move on into the winners bracket in this tournament. That's a little bit high. Reminder that this tournament continues for the next 2 weeks right here at Disbro Park. They'll be playing every night, 4 games on the weekends, and get up to the championship round on August 1st. Foul back.
You know, the director, Ralph, said that there are 12 teams in this tournament, and that's it. He's not going to take any more.
It's a good number.
Yeah.
It's a workable number.
12. I imagine if they had lights here, he could probably take more teams.
High fastball.
You know, get a night game in.
If he had lights here, he may bring in 40 teams, the games that he could get in here.
Yeah. And then you can be more selective. You can really pick out the great teams in the tri-state area.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Luckhart curveball right back to the box. He'll flip over to first in time, and that is going to do it. The ball game has come to an end for Larchmont Mamaroneck here in the 7th. They pick up 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. There's your final. Rye moves on to the winners bracket as they defeat Larchmont Mamaroneck by a final of 14-6. In just a moment, Stephanie Ives will be on the field with our player of the game when we return in just a moment. Part of our doubleheader as Rye defeats Larchmont Mamaroneck 14-6 in the opening round of the Rye baseball tournament. Our player of the game, the starting pitcher and the winning pitcher, Andy Luckhart. He went the distance, gave up 4 runs, struck out 5, he walked 2, and he's down at first base with our own Stephanie Ives.
Thanks very much, John. Andy Luckhart, congratulations, first of all, on your win.
Thank you.
And second of all, it seems very fitting that the team from Rye should get at least 1 win in the Rye tournament. What do you think about that?
It feels good in front of our home fans, and I'm proud of the guys.
Do you feel that because you're from Rye and this is the Rye tournament that this is yours and yours to get?
Yeah, I think so. It means a lot to us to play in front of our home fans, and it's our tournament.
Now, in the 4th inning, your teammates had a big blast of runs, and they gave you a lot of rest to sit there. Did that get you some rest so that you could come back out in the 5th inning and pitch some better?
It was a much-needed rest. It's such a hot day, and it felt good, you know, just get some rest.
Now, you had 5 strikeouts and 4 walks. Were you hanging in there towards the end of the game? It was getting hot out here, and how'd you feel? I was
really exhausted at the end. You know, the 6th inning was a rough inning, and I hung in there and wanted to finish this game. You know, it meant a lot to me being on TV.
Now, you think you're going to go all the way to championships, right?
No, I sure do.
Okay, well, congratulations, and I hope you do get there. John, this has been an exciting game, and we're looking for some more with another game coming up. Back to you.
Yeah, well, Stephanie, we're not going to hang around for that last one, I don't think. But indeed, the tournament continues for the next 2 weeks. And in today's action so far, North Castle, Eastchester, and Rye all coming up winners. And those 3 teams will be moving on to second-round action tomorrow afternoon on Sunday. And the tournament will conclude on August 1st. Baseball galore for the next 2 weeks. And if you're into hardball and good hardball, you might want to make a trip one day in the next 2 weeks up here to Disbro Park to watch a little bit of it. So that's going to do it for this Cable 3 Sports Special. For our director, Mike Moore, and Ray Karowski and Stephanie Ives, I'm John Caridio. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, next up on the schedule, we go back to the softball game of the week with another doubleheader. We'll be at White Plains for the Westchester and White Plains Women's All-Star Games, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. The final once again, Rye, a winner over Larchmont Mamaroneck by a final of 14-6. See you later, everybody.